All right, hey guys, how's it going? It's Kayya here with another Exos Heroes video. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the top 10 rares in the game. So in this game, actually a lot of good rares. So what I wanted to do is I want to break them down, go over the ones I really like, especially for the challenges. So even though I have a lot of characters, I'm still using a ton of rares when it comes to the challenges. They really help out. There's really no characters that compare in a lot of ways. Also, there's some of just objectively like some of the best characters in the game that are rares too. So don't sleep on them. They're actually really good. So let's break it down. Give me Kayya here. So Kayya is probably one of the best rares in the game. Also, I do want to say, yes, I know Xeon is technically a rare. FC Xeon is not included. Any fake core character I'm not including. Just straight up base rare, no fake core. That's what this list is going to be. So the first one is going to be Kayya. So Kayya is one of the absolute god tier characters for the Dragon Raid. So and plus she's just an overall very solid healer. Period. So you can use her on nature challenges. She's in every single one of my teams for Dragon. Just a really good character. She's in my tag teams as a healer for Arena. And the main reason why she's so good in, for example, the Dragon Raid is she's one of the very few characters in the game that has these high percentage heals over the over both moves. So for example, Anastasia is widely known as the best healer in the game, but Kayya is better as a healer in the Dragon specifically because she has a heal on both moves, whereas Anna will be forced to use her attack move on the second rotation, whereas Kayya is always healing. So that's one of the reasons why she's just so good. Also, you could take her, I believe she's required for a challenge on nature days, so you're going to be leveling her up anyway. You can take her there. So, and then also if you didn't pick Anastasia, she's actually a pretty good choice for you if you want to use her in Arena. So we're just overall very good character. Can't go wrong with Kayya. It's really cool because she's guaranteed on your account. You just need to go through the story and you'll get her. So super good. And then next on this list, so this is going to be a theme. These are some of the god tier characters for challenges. So I use these in the highest version of the challenges. They're just really effective at helping complete them, because big thing when it comes to the challenges is, like in my previous video, I think the challenges are the most important thing to do, especially if you're trying to get faded gear. But a lot of these rares have a built-in move that makes them really good at completing the challenges, because how to beat challenges, it really comes down to how well can you AoE break, and what these characters are going to have. A lot of these are going to be very similar, and the main difference is going to be their typing. But I think all these rares are worth leveling up. Wait, so the first one, let's just go with Wilkes here. So as you'll see a theme, you'll see a very distinctive pattern when it comes to these characters. So what makes her so good is mainly going to be this move here, which is a 0 mana AoE, and then deals 17% damage to all enemies. So what she does is she's hitting them all. So she's going to proc 1 Guardian Stone in the challenge. Then her pass, like the dot that she applies, is going to proc the other one. So she has a 0 mana move that is going to break all dark characters immediately. So already that is like god tier for challenges. It's amazing. Like I know on these days, usually there's going to be 3 dark characters and 2 light characters, so it's not going to break the whole wave. But that's really good. And also I've tested her a lot. A lot of the waves on dark and light days don't counter like on some of the other days. So it makes it a lot easier for her to do this and not have to worry about her dying. And then next she has another really good move here, which is increases all allies attack by 17% of your own attack for 7 turns. It's very solid. And then Mana Zorb. So that's the first one. Next one, let's go to Iden. So here's where the pattern's coming in is 0 mana AoE. Doesn't have a dot on this one. Not all of them are going to have a dot, but he does make up for it with a 350% piercing damage on one enemy, and then also his final hit, which is a really great passive to finish out kills. Next, we got Carlos here. Carlos is going to be very similar. So we got Wilkes, Iden, Carlos, all have a very similar passive of a 0 mana AoE. So deals 17% damage to all enemies, and then burns target by 10%, over the course of 2 turns. So he's just as good as Wilkes, but for fire days. So be sure to take Carlos if you can get him for those days, and it'll really help you out in breaking those. And then what's cool about, on fire, it's just all fire. So he's going to break literally everyone just with 1 move for 0 mana. And then he also has this move here, which is 5 mana, deals 119% damage to all enemies, and then burns target, dealing 41% damage every turn for 4 turns. So mainly you're just going to be spamming this move, but it is kind of nice that you can hit a little harder if they're all broken later on. And then you'll be gaining a ton of because he's so easily breaking them, the synergy with fire, you're going to be critting a whole bunch. He's going to be gaining a ton of mana anyway. So it's going to be very easy to close out if you bring Carlos. And then next in this theme here is we got Wyler. So Wyler, another one, deals 34% damage to all enemies for 0 mana. And then he has, increases the note and dodge. You're probably never going to use that. And he also has final hit. So another good character you could take on Frost Days. So we got Frost, and then lastly, we have Colin, which is on Machine Days. I think Machine's probably the hardest day because there's really no healer for it. But he's going to be incredibly important because he has the 0 mana, deals damage to all enemies. It also, on this one, it's a little rough because I believe they do counter a lot on Machine Days. So watch out for that. You're definitely going to want to gear him up, make him as tanky as possible. Maybe have people go faster than him. Like there's a lot of assassins in the machine class. So you can have them go first, hit the people, they take the counter, and then Colin goes, AoEs everyone and breaks them. So I'll probably go over that in other videos, but Colin's a really good character that I couldn't beat Machine Days until I leveled up Colin once, and then I got Colin up, and then it made it possible. It's still really hard. I still have to manual all my challenges when it comes to Machine Days, but Colin makes it actually doable. Those are going to be all the ones in that theme of characters that are really good for challenges, 0 mana moves, AoE. You're going to want all of them for them. And I believe every single one of them is required for at least one of the challenges. So you're definitely going to want to get them up anyway, but they're really nice to level up all the way like to 75 because they're just that good. So the next on the list, let's talk about Iris here. So Iris is a really good rare, guaranteed on the account. What's so good about her is going to be this move here, which is her A1, which is grants a barrier of 11% of own maximum health to all allies for 12 turns, and then removes all status effects from all allies, and then the target gains 1 mana. So really useful if you want to funnel mana in to a character that maybe can revive or maybe just does a ton of damage. Like a really popular thing is for some of the challenges later on in the Labyrinth, you can feed it to like Rudely, or you can feed it to like a Rezer. It just being able to give mana is really rare in this game. And then I believe in the Dragon, she just gives mana to everyone. So super good character. She just has a burst here for the last part of her kit, which is a 350%, just nuke here, which, is not going to do crazy amount of damage, but, just rounds out the kit, really solid, has damage. She's in the light class, like light and dark classes, like you're not really getting that many good characters. It's kind of a rare class to get things that are good for. If you look at just the average pool of like the fire class, there's a ton of good characters. Whereas you look at the average pool of sun characters or moon characters, they're not as good. So definitely keep that in mind. I think Iris is really good. I have her leveled up and I use her in the challenges on Sundays. And so the next we have Seer here, pretty solid character. Nothing too crazy about her kid that's like super stand out, but she reminds me of Yao. There's this there's a legendary character in Yao that's really good, and she has a very similar kit to that, which is, instead of final hit, she has counter, but then she has this increased allies attack by 18% of her own attack for 7 turns, and then she has a nuke of deal 500% damage to one enemy. And then keep in mind that this is a burst move, so that means if she pulls up her mana, then she will use all of it, but then do more damage. So always look for burst moves because burst moves are awesome. And so her having that kind of a nuke plus an AoE attack up is awesome. Really good character. Definitely consider her if you're struggling in the for like frost challenges. And then where are we at on this list? Who are we missing? Okay, so we got 2 more here. And then it's going to be Morris. So I think Morris is really good. We got counter. And then also, he just gets better. If you get the fake core version, it just gets better. But unlike Xeon, this character is actually good without the fake core. In the sense that it has the increased ally attack by 18% of his own attack. And then has a 700% damage move on and a burst move for 5 mana. So the reason why I like this guy more is that there's going to be other rare characters that have a 700% damage move, but he's better for a couple of reasons. First reason, he's machine, so he gains mana on his own. And then the second reason, he's an attack character. So when I say gains mana on his own, when it's his turn, if he has more than 70% health, then he's just going to gain mana, which is great for an attack character. And he's an attack character, so he's going to, every time he hits someone, he's going to gain mana that way too. He's not like a support character where he's having to wait to get hit to gain the mana. So for a character that you're trying to nuke with, that's very important. Since his machine typing is good, and since he's an attack character, that's also good for what he's trying to do. Whereas like B-roll here, here's just a good example of someone that's worse. Is because reason why is nature, you have to be less than 30% health. Unlike machine, you have to be above 70%. And then he's defensive. So he has this move here, that deals 700% damage. But since he's defensive, you look at his base stats, he's not going to have good base stats compared to Morris. Morris has way more attack. He's waiting for mana, so he's not going to do it as much. It's like, I think it's really good to highlight the exact same kit, essentially with that same move, same mana, is massively worse on someone like B-roll versus someone like Morris. So I really wanted to explain that because it's important. Like you might see like, oh, I don't have Morris, but I have B-roll, and it's very similar, but he's not. It's two massively different characters. And so then lastly, we have Venado. So Venado, pretty solid character, I think, rounds up the top 10 list of good rare characters. Has final hit. I'm really a big fan of this passive here. Has a trick shot, deals 150% damage to one enemy, and then a turn resets, the target dies, and then has a 4 mana, deal 500% damage to one enemy. So very similar kit. I mean, I know this is not nearly as good, but very similar kit to someone like a Baraka, where it has a move here, a turn resets as the target dies, and then also has Baraka has a 3 mana version that deals more damage, and whereas she has a 500% for 4 mana. So you mean it's kind of, you have to give and take here because we're talking about rares here, but a very similar structure of a kit there. And then as you can see, her attack is just crazy. So she's going to hit super hard, so I think rounds out the list, solid character. You're not going to get someone that's exactly as good, but similar enough compared to all the other rares, way better. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for my list of the top 10 rares. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree, disagree, if there's any of the rare characters that you like that you think I missed. Be sure to let people know so they don't miss out as well. And you guys have a good one. Peace.